Is that part of your process at all? Do you get ideas like that? And
It's definitely my process, and it's if not on an airplane, if it's not like music paper, and it rarely is, then it's a cocktail napkin, half of a page of legal pad, you know, that I'll borrow from somebody, and I'll just draw a staff and put 4 lines. There are 4
5
lines, right? 5 lines.
5 lines.
See, that's a very important thing for me to impart to aspiring musicians, songwriters, composers, that the ability to learn how to notate music, very important, very key.
Are the ideas always melodic ideas? Do you sometimes write harmonic notes above them?
I'll hear the harmonic.
Are they always for the melody, or do you sometimes get an idea for an accompaniment or a vamp?
Many of the songs that I've written, many of the things that I've written, you could say like a song like Walk On By. So what happened with Walk On By is that became formed. It's almost like the orchestration came with it, where the flugelhorns would come in, where the strings would come in, what the drum pattern might be. That keyboard figure in Walk On By, that was, and as I heard that, played it, and said, well, I'm going to write the orchestration, and I'm going to write it for 2 pianos. And we'll get 2 grand pianos in the studio with the orchestra, and we'll have the 2 keyboard players. I don't think I played on that date, just conducted or was in the booth. And I'll have them both play the identical part.
Just for the thickness of the texture, or
Just
the
for,
volume?
yeah, just for, because it will not be an exact, like, overdub. It'll be like, there'll be 2 different textures. The keyboard texture will be different from the other keyboard texture. And I think that it's a good idea, you know. I mean,
Well, so many of your chords are so rich and thick and surprising, and there's 2 kinds of harmony: the vertical harmony and the horizontal harmony. In terms of how much of it is you think, this is where I am in the song, this is the melody note, this is how I want to harmonize it, versus do you have a harmonic outline for a whole song? Is that part of
well,
how it comes to you?
I have to try to look at the vertical outlook. That's why it's important for me to get away from the keyboard, both in orchestrating and both in composing, because I have to try to hear the whole thing as an entity, rather than be kind of like enchanted by a bar that sounds really good, but where is that going to be in the overall 3-4 bars? Where does it lead to? Where's the relief? Where is where you can stand back? And that's why a normal process will be for me to be able to get away from the keyboard and then come back and check it out at the keyboard and go from the couch to the keyboard. And sometimes on recording dates, what I would do with musicians sitting in the studio, and if I was stuck, something wasn't working, I'd give a 10-minute break to the orchestra, and I'd go into the men's room and go into one of the stalls and close the door. I mean, I'd just sit sit down there. I wouldn't need to have to go to the bathroom or anything.
I understand.
I would have a place to sit, and nobody would talk to me, nobody would see me. And I'd just run through and try to isolate in my head what was wrong, what was stopping me at a certain time. 9 out of 10 times I'd have the answer when I'd come out. Yes, there was a pressure, It was a 10-minute break.
Very sad news. One of the pop music greatest composers, that is Burt Bacharach, has reportedly passed away at the age of 94. This is a gentleman who wrote enduring hits, very many good hits like I Say, A Little Prayer, Walk On By, and What the World Needs Now Is Love, along with a lyricist, Hal David. This is a man who also wrote numerous movie themes, including What's New, Pussycat, Alfie, and The Look of Love, a major hit for the Dusty Springfield. Very sad news indeed, because losing such a talented man is really very gut-wrenching and heartbreaking. Bacharach died reportedly on Wednesday at his home in Los Angeles as a result of natural causes. That is, according to his publicist, Mrs. Tina Brassom. That's what he said via a statement that was released to the press and onto the official social media pages of Mr. Burt Bacharach. Very well known for his airborne melodies and sumptuous orchestral arrangements, his talent, a hugely talented man, Bacharach was one of the most important songwriters of the 20th century. Over his career, looking through his biography, he scored close to 73 40 hits unprecedentedly in the US and 52 in the United Kingdom, and of course working with so many artists including Dionne Warwick, Frank Sinatra, the Beatles, Barbara Streisand, Tom Jones, Aretha Franklin, and of course the one and only Elvis Costello. This is a man who had a huge talent, like I've told you, a man who could play guitar, who could play the piano, a man who was a writer, a singer, a songwriter, a song arranger. So he was a jack of almost each and everything. So losing him is really talented. So looking through the number of some of the hit songs he wrote, personally I love Magic Moments, I Say a Little Prayer, that is by Aretha Franklin, What Do You Get When You Fall in Love, that was Dionne Warwick, The Look of Love, of course still by Dionne Warwick. I remember there is Close to You, that is by the Carpenters, Alfie, Dionne Warwick. Raindrops Keep Falling on My Head, that is one of the most greatest songs, that is by BJ Thomas. I made a video a couple of months ago, that was in 2020, after the loss of BJ Thomas, so you can look through it up when BJ Thomas was actually giving shout outs to Burt Bacharach. So Raindrops Keep Falling on My Head is one of the greatest hit songs that was written by Burt Bacharach, so including other so many songs, 24 Hours from Tulsa, Make It Easy on Yourself, I Just Don't Know What to Do with Myself, What's New, Arthur's Theme, Christopher Cross, Anyone Who Had a Heart, and so many other songs. R.I.P. to the legend.